This is from Biafran's Got Talent. We are letting Biafrans know the reason why we should remember those who gave their lives for us, those who died that we may live.
You died to end my suffering. You died fighting for my freedom. Your blood is the seed of redemption. You are my inspiration.
The deed no wrong for them, military shots at them. 67 to 70, we remember them. 2016, 38 May, memories still lives in our mind till today. Wonder why they refuse to publicize the genocide. The world media turn blind eyes to our plight. It's time to arise, land of the rising sun. Let's rise one more time, let's rise.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes, those who gave their life for us. Onitsha massacre, Ipocha massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright.
Tell them I got that day. Remember when me tell you say I got that day. Yeah, I remember that one that called us a Bruce Mero. But the way you put like a Papa Nuku. But then when we go, me tell you what I look pandi, what pandi Samiro, me tell you what I day. For me the plan and the rest of man, I tell you what I do. Me know that you come to tell them
I want to promise you something today. We must fight together, no retreat and no surrender. We must hold them down till the end of time. The most important thing is that we will restore Biafran. May your soul rest in peace.
I look up to the sky with tears in my eye. For other Biafrans and for freedom had to die. We will never forget you as the days go by. You are always in my heart, forever be a part.
They fought for our freedom, they died for our freedom. They fought the Nigerian soldiers in the war front, without food, without guns, for our freedom, for our life, for our own good, for our children. We love them, our heroes, we want them.
My heart bleeds when I saw them slain. Where will I be now if not then? They will remain indelible in my heart forever, 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 and never, and never, and never.
We serve in your plantation, and the way you paid us back with your bloody starvation. We play in our history that the death of our people is a mystery. No going back to get to a victory. I had a voice now call for vengeance. I never get bombed, I'ma blow like a vengeance.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes, those who gave their life for us. Onitsha massacre, Ipocha massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright.
Where will I be now? If not you, you died at Mali.
They were starved to death because of our freedom, and they paid the debt for our freedom. Flag high for those that died in the genocide, fighting for you and I. There is pain in our heart, we bleeding inside, tears in the eyes, so I'm following you.
This is for my fallen heroes. Give them a motivation, people. It's like I'm looking at myself in the mirror. Cause we to be a cast, I need to be a nurse. If we did not retire,
They paid the ultimate price. They died for me, for the freedom of unborn child. We live for the legacy.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. Onitsha massacre, Ipocha massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright. Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. flag in the air. Never be afraid. March on, cause we are more than conquerors. Yeah, you know what it is.
I'm looking at myself
We
in the
must
mirror.
revenge, and we must stand to represent who we are.
Akara m ihe mbe na-eme mbe si ma chọrọ ofu ukwu ehi ma nke ọzọ mụ achọrọ ehi niile ma ụkwụ ya ma aka ya ma isi ya ma olu ya anyị ga-adọbiri wee pụọ na nke onwe anyị tighata azụ etu anyị nọ tupu ndị ọcha wee bịa ebe a nwa aha obodo ebe a nwe ndị mmadụ n'ime tupu nwa bekee si ebe o si hapụ obodo ya ọ bịa ebe a ọkpọrọ onye nke ọkpọrọ okeke ọkpọrọ okafọ dakata anyị isi ọ sị n'ụbọchị nke taa na anya aha anyị wusi Naijiria anyị na-aza aha na-enweghị omimi n'ime ya ihe ngwa gị gbasị biko kọwara m ihe Naijiria pụtara enwepụghị kọwara m ọmụa ga-aza aha osimiri ka osimiri ga-aza aha mụnwa n'ihi ihe anyị na-ekwuwu na ebe a rụgidere ụlọ anọ ọ jọgburu onwe ya ọ dịghị mma Naijiria agaghị emekọtanwu ihe ọzọ ihe ọjọọ emego n'obodo a arụ emego egbugo ndị be anyị aka na-egbukwa anyị ndị Fulani wee chere na mabata be anyị ka na-egbukwa ndị be anyị ruo ụtụtụ echi a na-asị m na ọ ga-adị mma oge ọ na-ekwekwu ka nwee mmekọrịta ọgwụ nke ndị nụkọ nke ndị ụmụnne ha egosighị anyị ọtụtụ mgbe na ha kpọrọ anyị asị onye ajụrụ ajụ na-ajụ onwe ya ha jụrụ anyị aja ama njụ onwe anyị agbanyeghị na anyị nwe ngwa ahịa n'ugwu Awụsa agbanyeghị na anyị na-azụ ahịa ebe niile dị iche iche na-eme nke ọma kama onye ghara ndụ kpakụ onye rie niile ọ Ndụbụisi ka anyị na-ekwu okwu ya ka anyị cheghata azụ ebe a ruo obodo anyị ka o wee maa mma wee karịa obodo ndị ọcha na mma ọhịa anyị na-arịọ nwekwe n'ugwu nwee nkwanye ugwu n'ime onwe anyị ọnwa anyị pụọ n'iro a na-etigbu anyị pụọ n'iro okwu okwu asị ọ bụ gịnị ma anyị ji wee ekwu okwu ọnwụ ihe ndị a ka anyị si na anyị agaghị anabatakwa ya ọzọ
akụkọ akọrọ anyị bụ na ọkụkọ na ewu agaghị nzukọ ụmụ anụmanụ a na-emezi mgbe ọbụla a chọrọ ịchụ aja ejiri ọkụkọ maọbụ nwụchụ aja mgbe ọbụla a chọrọ ime ka Naijiria dị n'otu enwe ha na-eto esi wee kpam akpụrụ ndị Igbo ọ pụtara na anyị bụ ọkụkọ maọbụ ewu ka ọ pụtara na anyị agaghị nzukọ mere ya bụ eji eme anyị bụ ndị Igbo ụdị na ọbara ndị Igbo ahụ kpafu n'obodo Naijiria karịa
ọ bụ site na akpọmasị ihe na-eme anyị dị ka ihe mere ndị ji oge mgbe gara aga etu akụ ka mba niile dị iche iche ji kpọọ ụmụ Izrel asị a na-egbu ha afọ niile aka na-egbu ha o wee ruo oge ugbu anyị asị na ogbugbu a na-egbu anyị na ọ dịghị anyị mma ọ ka mma na onwe ihe kegbuo anyị nwu nwere onwe njem a nke anyị na-aga kama na na-esi etete n'ụtụtụ asị na onwe onye gburu ebe a onwe ha na-ekwu okwu odo na nyere onwe onye n'aka ụkọchukwu n'ugwu Awụsa ebepụ isi ọnwụghị ofu ugboro ọnwụghị ugboro abụọ ọnwụghị ugboro atọ ọnwụghị ugboro anọ ọ bụ ruo ole mgbe ka a ga-egbugide anyị wee rue anyị asị mba na anyị ga-aga ka anyị nwee ike wee nwere onwe anyị ọ ka mma na anyị nwụrụ ebe anyị na-azọ nwere onwe tụbụ na anyị nọ n'ụlọ etu a mmadụ ibe mabata n'ime ụlọ mbịa bupụ m isi a sị na-achọghị ụdị nka ọ bụghị anyị maka a ga-eji wee chụọ àjà ọzọ
onye si na ya ga-ata anyị ahụhụ ma ọ bụ na anyị fe arụsị anyị wee na-efe arụsị mgbe were iwe gị na ọmụma gị wee bịa leta anyị ụmụ anyị wee na-anwụsị ụfọdụ nọ n'ụzọ ije ha anaghị alọta ụlọ ọzọ nne na nna wee na-ata ahụhụ wee na-ata ikikere eze nwaanyị konye ka ọ gaa ubi gaa rụọ ọrụ Fulani chiri ehi bata ebe ala gị dị n'iyi okwu ebepụ ya isi anyị bụ ka anyị kpọpụ onye nwe anyị n'ugwu Awụsa ahụ ejide anyị wee gbuo ihe ọ bụ anyị mara aka n'ime ha si maka ha aga n'ihu elekwa ọdụ ụgbọ mmiri n'igwe ọcha bụ ememiri ọya nke dị na Kalaba otu aka ahụ anyị na-ala nsọ ebe Biafra bụ ndị kọstọm sokwenye anyị n'etiti anyị anọghị n'ime mmiri kama kọstọm juru ebe niile ha wee na-ata anyị ahụhụ anyị kwuo ekosịpụta anyị ka kpọchie anyị kwuo ekwasịpụta anyị ka gbagbuo anyị onye nwe anyị na Chineke na nke bi n'igwe ọ bụ ụzọ dị anya ka isi na-ebu ndị iro anyị n'anya wee karịa ndị nke gị akwa anyị bụ ụmụ Chineke akwa ọba aha anyị ka anyị na-aza akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza ike Chukwu akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza amara Chineke akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza Chisom akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza Chizọba nna nke dị nsọ onye ime eluigwe dịka otu onye iro dị na anyị bụ ụmụ gị bịa ka iwe zọpụta anyị bịa ka iwe napụta anyị n'aka ọjọọ ihe bịa ka iwe lụọrọ anyị ọgụ bịa ka iwe detu ozu ọ bụ ọkọwa mgbe emilere Goliath Chineke nna nke igwe ruo ememila Fero support wa me ka fa na ko go ni ho mo na ai ka bi to we ta ko bi ni to so e ga ne du ani no so ni men ke si o me kwa bụla adịghị na anyị na-aga ndagwurugwu onyinye ọnwụ ọ bụbụ nwa bụ ekele n'igwe n'ụwa onye ọbụla kere gị n'oge mmalite n'oge ọgwụgwụ kama anyị nwe anyị gwa amakwa ahụ ofu ụbọchị anyị ga-anwụ n'ezie kama ma akpọ na okwu gị na-anọgide ego mgbe ebighị ebi ọ bụ ya mere anyị ji were gị n'anya isi anyị wee na-asị nna nke dị nsọ bịa ka iwe egosi anyị Biafra na ndụ na-abụghị n'ọnwụ bịa ka iwe na-ekebe gị na amara gị wee kpuchiri anyị ka uwe bịa ka iwe zọpụta ndị nke gị bịa ka iwe mee ka Biafra wee bịa ka anyị na-ewetụta na nsọpụrụ na ịja mma site n'aha gị onye bụ Chukwu nke abịa ma
Welcome. Thank you for joining wherever you're joining from. Like and share the program. We will continue to give updates as we always do at all time. This evening, wherever you're watching from, I want you to know that we must not stop because the enemies are not stopping. As long as the enemies continue to take the life of our loved ones, continue to attack us, we will not stop. No matter how they try to discourage us, no matter how they try to attack us, all their methods, we have known them and we will never stop. The more they try, the more we fight on to make sure that our voice is heard. And we will continue to express our views, we will continue to bring updates for as much as we can. We will never back down. No matter how they try to attack, we'll never back down. So we are still calling on the United Nations and the international community to pay attention to the situation in Nigeria to save life. Because the life of the indigenous people is in danger. The genocide has continued, it has never stopped. We think it has stopped, it has never stopped. Genocide is still going on in the contraption called Nigeria. And when you think they have stopped, they will just start. The terrorism of Nigeria today is being made more open than before. Today you are hearing about election violence that is going on everywhere. Even when the election has not started, they have already started planning their attack right, left, and center. Assassination plot is going on everywhere. But that will not deter us. I only pity those who refuse to listen to the voice of reason. I pity those who have refused to see reason because we have talked and talked and talked for a very long time, but they refuse to listen. But we will continue to speak. We will continue to call the attention of the world. We will continue to talk to those who care to listen, for them to listen. Those who do not care, it is up to them. Abasios Agomai. At the end of the day, everybody will give account of their stewardship. But the beautiful thing is that at the end of the day, we will remember that, yes, we did our own part. That is the most important thing. You'll only be worried if you did not do your own part. But when you have done your own part and they refuse to listen, it is up to them. So let us hear what is going on in their own media as we proceed. Let's listen.
Hey viewers, let's begin what's trending. Social media has erupted with condemnation from political activists, civil society groups, and ordinary Nigerians after former Member State Governor Peter Obi and former ADC National Chairman John Odige Oyegun were attacked in what has been described as an assassination attempt in Benin City, Edo State. The brazen attack in broad daylight occurred during the formal declaration of Olumide Akpata into the African Democratic Congress. Videos circulating on social media showed bullet-riddled gates and shattered vehicle windscreens. Let's take a look at this eyewitness account. This is the APC State Secretariat. I said the HR, look at this one, I was injured. This is the APC State Secretariat in the State of Okwelaka. We just received a
matter was the candidate to the ADC, and Itabi was here live and direct to witness it. Just few minutes after the event took place, the APC said their talks. They came in numbers with the Sierra or Brother vehicle, with Boba Shaw, they were shooting, they destroyed vehicles, they destroyed this small vehicle, but they scattered everywhere. This is the one who set up the secretariat. Look at that, things are destroyed. This is the kind of thing for the weapon up, what's a percent over? Look at this one on destruction. They said the woman was shot on the neck, the one at the road to the hospital. They shot her on the neck, people were beating, and we are injured. Look at our DJ, the DJ who covered the event. You can see all his vehicles have been destroyed. They stole the laptop of the DJ, they scattered his phone and his laptop was stolen. And look at that, they were scattered everywhere. See, the strike motors, they came with guns, they said all of them were having bombers on the house, and were shooting politically in this venue. This is a state, and the power of opposition cannot be subdued. Everybody who wants to join the NPATC will be allowed to address so. We have the right to gather, we have the right to participate. Any form of intimidation and oppression that they are using in this state to oppress us will not be allowed to accept it. This is totally unacceptable.
This is absolutely ridiculous, Aya, ridiculous. Well, Dr. Unisa Tanko, National Coordinator of the Obedient Movement Worldwide, who was on this program earlier, revealed that armed thugs trailed their convoy from the ADC Secretariat to Chief Odige Oyegun's residence on Tuesday, opening fire on their compound. Tanko went on to state that the attackers shot at the gate and destroyed several vehicles in what appeared to be a survived assassination attempt on their lives. He characterized the incident as a direct assault on Nigeria's democratic process and called on security agencies to act swiftly to protect political actors and prevent further escalation of violence. Meanwhile, former governorship flag bearer of the Labour Party in Edo State, Olumide Akpata, and his running mate successfully joined the African Democratic Congress on Tuesday. Well, let's listen to what Peter Obi had to say.
Let me assure all of us here, we are committed to a new Nigeria. They might do everything possible to stop us, but I assure you our commitment is total. We must build a country that will work for everybody. It is not working for everybody today. We must build a country where a child of nobody can be somebody without knowing anybody.
Well, I mean, it's good that you know that they went on to go ahead with their meeting that was scheduled. But you know, despite multiple vehicles destroyed and a gate riddled with bullets, no arrests have been made. The Edo State Police Command confirmed the incident, saying a political gathering was disrupted by suspected hoodlums. But critics are asking, how were armed gunmen able to trail political leaders through Benin City unchallenged? Where were the security escorts? And most importantly, who ordered this attack? Who ordered this attack? That's a big question. You know, I think I can't remember, I was saying last week that it was said that where's your position? You can't hear or see your position. I mentioned that under it is a very wholesome, and to what extent that speaks about the quality or how advanced our democracy is. What happened in Edo State never happened. In terms of a party, political party, the ADC, going there for, you know, to receive a new member of the party, something that the APC has enjoyed across different states in the country without any form of violence. And so they went there for Mr. Olumide Akpata and Mr. Peter Obi, alongside some chieftains of the party, members of the party, went there to receive him and make a few visits. And this is what, you know, they met. I think what is even more terrible, embarrassing, is a statement by the Edo State government, because the responsibility of the governor is to protect the lives and property of residents and visitors alike, irrespective of party affiliation or where they stand or who they stand. As long as he's Nigerian or the people there are Nigerian, they deserve to be protected. Yes, aside the fact that he had given an advisory before around if politically exposed people are coming to the state, they should notify. It's an indictment on the state of insecurity in Edo State. It's the same Edo State that a museum was attacked by hoodlums. So are they saying that the governor is unable to contain the reign of terror of hoodlums in the state? And then I want to also speak to the narrative around, oh, there were skirmishes within the ADC already, so maybe that is, that's an excuse that should not even come up in this particular matter. The truth is that high-profile Nigerians were attacked. Then you can imagine what happens to the ordinary people who are living in Edo State. Politics and politicking should be allowed in a democratic structure so that whoever or wherever or whichever party you belong to, you are guaranteed of the basic right to security and to ensure that you can exercise your rights as a Nigerian citizen freely. This shouldn't have happened. An investigation ought to be done, and the Edo State should stop. Edo State government should stop denying and saying, "Oh, I'm pointing fingers." Do the right thing by the people that you serve.
Absolutely. Well, before the incident with fire, Peter Obi had, visited St. Philomena Catholic College of Nursing in Benin City, where he donated 15 million naira to the development of the school's facilities. Peter Obi was seen touring the premises alongside students who chanted Obi's slogan that a new Nigeria is possible. Let's take a look. To see that he had a successful visit there. Peter Obi had, made a similar visit to this same school last July, where he donated 15 million naira. At the time, Governor Okpebholo publicly warned Obi not to come back to the state unless he had obtained security clearance to do so. The governor had said the decision was due to an uptick in violence and the killing of 3 people in the aftermath of Obi's visit to Rufai.
Oji. There's a saying, the witch cried yesterday, the child died today. Link the death of the child and the witch. Nobody, Okpebholo himself, said that he cannot guarantee security if they don't tell him. I mean, not so. And a security crisis happened. And that's why, when I was interviewing Dr. Tako Yunusa, I deliberately played devil's advocate. And to ensure that all the points were nullified. We would like to warn Okpebholo. We would like to warn the governor of Edo State. Please, on no account must this happen again. If it happens again, then it shows that you have failed in your responsibility. Other people came to Edo State now. Wasn't there a program recently in Edo State?
Yes, there was.
So why did the Woodrow have himself to go and shoot around there?
But I was listening to Kasim Afebro this morning, and he said that, the house, the Riego house, was close to the government house, which is quite an indictment.
So why how come not go to Okpebholo's events? Why Kasim was making this argument, I was just laughing. And as I was asking all the things Kasim said from all I just needed as a confirmation, because the APC, at first it was Jared Tenebe that tried to say it was a fight between Owi and Oyego. That's why I asked, was Owi there? Because the line they keep on pushing that they were pushing Owi out and all of that. So since he had debunked that, we just want to beg and warn Okpebholo at the same time. You said it all, and we are seeing the signs. Nothing must happen to Obi. Obi is in Nigeria just like you. And this excessive, I want to deliver 2 million votes for president. Be careful. We have seen opposition come together. Because we are opposition with somebody today does not mean you can't still work together with the person tomorrow. Be careful. We want to beg and warn you. Obi has been going to every state. Woodrow didn't come. Then Momodu went to that same Edo state too. Woodrow didn't come.
Oh, well, all right.
Dear.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes. I think it would be defamatory simplicity to sit at this table and say this is the person that is responsible. What we can do separately is with principles. Whether it is the party internal democracy crisis that led to the conflict in Edo State, or it is some other party external that caused the problem. The principle is that Nigerians do not want violence. Nigerians do not want conquering. We want the right of the people to choose to be respected without molestation, without harassment. And every politician, whether it is Peter Obi or the woman selling coconuts by the roadside who attended an ADC event or whatever party's event, all of them should be safe. That is what we ask for.
Yes.
And this particular incident must be investigated.
Absolutely.
Now, if we say Okwebolo says something, how about the Edo Police Command? Where was the DSS in the state? Where are the other security agencies who we always say should have prior intelligence if something is going to happen, and if something happens accidentally, they should intervene.
Right.
So we do not want the failure of security, whether in Edo State or in your state, Delta State, or I don't want to mention or in any other state of the federation. I think it's the principle we should stand by, because security will be a major issue in any election cycle.
Yes, I'm glad that there was no fatality. I mean, we saw bullet shells on the floor, windscreens broken. I mean, it's good that, everyone is safe, but we have highlighted on this table, every Nigerian deserves protection. I mean, that was in broad daylight. Unacceptable. Let's now take reactions to the federal government's rebuttal of a report from AFP alleging that the Nigerian government paid 2 billion naira to Boko Haram terrorists to release 230 students and staff of St. Mary's Catholic School in Niger State. In a Tuesday statement, the Minister of Information, Mohammed Idris, called the claims false, emphasizing instead that the victims' safe rescue was due to professional intelligence and operational precision. And I'll read Mohammed Idris's tweet. He wrote, "The allegations constitute a disservice to the professionalism and integrity of Nigeria's security forces and the sacrifices they make daily. While we respect the freedom of the press, we firmly reject a narrative built on shadowy, unnamed sources seeking to undermine the credibility of a sovereign government acting within its laws for the avoidance of doubt. No ransom was paid, and no militant commanders were freed." But Nigerians reacting to the federal government's response are asking, if no ransom was paid and no militant commanders were freed, how exactly were 230 kidnapped students and staff released unharmed? The federal government says it was professional intelligence and operational precision. But with no arrest made, no suspects paraded, and no further details provided, that explanation is raising more questions than answers. And reacting to the federal government's denial, ex-user Jaber Essin posted a resurfaced clip of former governor of Kaduna State, Nasiru El-Rufai's interview, where he made explosive allegations against the federal government, accusing it of empowering bandits and paying ransoms, including an alleged 1 billion naira payment with the caption, "They owe you an apology, sir." Let's take a look.
This government has been around for 2 years. 3 schools have been attacked. And they paid the bandits. They paid them 1 billion naira the first time the school was attacked and students abducted. They are paying bandits. They are apologizing to the Biafran.
There's information about 1 billion naira.
Look, let the governor or anyone come and deny. We have the evidence. When the time comes, we'll reveal everything. They are paying bandits. They are empowering bandits. But this is what this government is trying. You think that will not work?
work. It has never worked anywhere in the world.
Well, that was an explosive interview. Well, in the same vein, the detention of former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai is generating reactions from a cross-section of Nigerians. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has issued a stern warning to the federal government, declaring that it will be held accountable if anything happens to the former governor while in custody. This is coming as El-Rufai's media advisor raised concerns over his well-being, alleging that he suffered a nosebleed while being held in official custody and that his lawyers and family were denied direct access to him, adding that one of his wives was prevented from delivering his meal personally and that the governor was transferred from EFCC custody to the ICPC on the night of February 18th without being told where he was being moved to or why. Atiku is now demanding in a post on X that the federal government state clearly which agency is holding the former governor, whether the EFCC, ICPC, DSS, or any other security arm, describing the secrecy surrounding his detention as unacceptable in a democracy. Meanwhile, activist and former presidential candidate Omoyele Sowore has also weighed in on El-Rufai's detention, dismissing reports of the former governor's nosebleed in custody as nothing more than a bid for public sympathy and suggesting that he is simply looking to reach out to credible opposition figures like himself to drum up support. Let's take a look.
Malami sent people to me and our lawyer to come and bill him out of Kuje. We've suddenly found out that we are the most credible people can do it. I'm sure El-Rufai must have been looking for a way now to reach out. Because all this shouting about bleeding of noses to get sympathy. I don't say that his nose is not bleeding. And I call on the government to stop his nose bleeding. It must give him good doctors. Or take him to Kaduna to go to the hospital he builds to stop the bleeding. I don't know what his legal strategies are, but all we know is that he's being held by his friends in the APC. And this is the strategy they used to use on others. I'm surprised that his nose is bleeding at the ICPC. When did his nose start bleeding? When he was governor, was his nose bleeding? But I'm not making fun of him because I don't support any form of impunity against anybody. But even while we are condemning impunity, we must also not let history invade us by reminding ourselves that these guys created the monsters that is now consuming them. The Frankenstein monster was created by El-Rufai. There are videos of El-Rufai saying that Tinubu was the best person. We have videos of the two of them dancing together, videos of him saying that some of us are irrelevant.
We have videos of that happening. We saw videos of El-Rufai dancing with the president. I mean, Omoyele Sowore made so many valid points there in that video. But, talking about the fact that El-Rufai is complaining about a nosebleed when he said they should take him to the hospital he built in Kaduna, that actually cracked me up. But, El-Rufai's arraignment has now been moved to April 23rd. With the prosecutor today saying that he was still in custody of the Independent Corrupt Practices Commission. I'll come to you on this conversation. First, I'd like for you to start with, the federal government debunking the 2 billion naira allegation by the AFP. That report, we took it here yesterday on What's Trending. Now the federal government is saying that no ransom was paid. And we saw El-Rufai's video there, challenging the government, saying that he knows that they pay 1 billion. Maybe that's why he's in jail right now. Who knows? All of these allegations that have been bandied around. Your thoughts?
There are allegations or charges that have been allegations, and he's been brought in for questioning, so he might have questions to answer. But going back, and I made this point earlier, that
Minister Mohammed Idris's statement and his rebuttal didn't have a lot of substance in it. He didn't answer the question that many people are asking, common sense. If you're saying that you were able to get back or have over 200 students released, how? You're saying security operations, all these very vague words. How? It is, and I said, what God cannot do does not exist, because it must be a miracle that we haven't seen arrests made of these terrorists. We haven't seen persecutions based on these arrests. All we see is just a joyful release, which we are happy about, we're very grateful for. But the reason why is that they are legitimizing crime when they pay ransom to these terrorists. They are legitimizing crime and making an industry of it and encouraging more people to go into a life of criminality and not dissuading based on very, military efforts. With military efforts, they are not dissuading people from going into a life of criminality. And that's why we can see, OG, that we see it repeat itself again and again. Because when the money runs out, as it would, then they'll make more demands and more ransom will be paid. Right. Until the government is able to provide some kind of, plausible, credible or believable ways in which they're able to rescue these students, these people who are abducted. Unfortunately, the AFP report sounds more detailed, gives more background, and El Rufai himself has come out to say that he knows, and if pushed, he will give evidence to the fact that he was once in government. Now he's for whatever reason, he was, and Rufai, go back to that comment you made, that sometimes you can be in opposition, sometimes you can be friends. The reverse can be the case. Sometimes you can be friends, and the other time you're in opposition. Now he's in opposition, all of a sudden he has a case to answer, and then he's being called in. What we've often called for is let due process be followed. Yes. Whatever the charge they brought against him, whatever investigation they're doing, let due process be followed. Every Nigerian has their right protected by the Constitution, and this ought to be adhered to. But I agree totally with what Mr. Shore said, that they should be applied to all politicians. If he has a nosebleed, all sympathies to him, he needs to be managed properly. But let take him to the states, to his states to get treatment. And finally, on the point that some of these monsters that we see today are creations of these very people who are now speaking against the monsters, as they've created, beings or situations that have now gone beyond their control. When it was convenient, these people, I'm not mentioning who, used these terrorist bandits as political tools. Now they have grown hydra-headed and they're now complaining about it. Some of these challenges are created by the politicians themselves. I had a cocktail of stories, so Dr. Wati, a quick comment.
I think she will remit very intelligent points about the ephemerality of power and the need to act with a lot of responsibility when you are in office, because your own omissions may consume you subsequently. And he made the point that he does not support impunity. He balanced it out in a fair manner by saying, the rights of the accused person also deserve to be respected. However, he was a bit historic when he said former AGF Fulani is approaching him, and that maybe El Rufai will also come to him to seek legal advice from him and his lawyers. That's just grandstanding. But as to the more intelligent points that he made about impunity, about responsibility, I think those are important too. You talked about Waziri Adamawa Atiku Abubakar saying that, look, nothing must happen to the detained person, that's Malam Nasir Rufai. He's also right in that regard, namely that if you accuse a person of any offense or any felony, it is the responsibility of the state to ensure that the welfare of that person, the well-being of that person is protected, because it is only when somebody is alive that he can answer to charges. Yes. So, and anybody at all under the rule of law is considered innocent until proven guilty. Whatever anybody will say, he's still an innocent man. 3, the point made by the information minister, Alhaji Mohammed Idris. Now, the federal government has said it is not true, we do not pay ransom. It is the policy of the federal government of Nigeria that ransom will not be paid. Now there is an allegation from AFP which the Nigerian
Why are you
government
laughing?
there is also an allegation relying on investigative journalism by Fisayo Shoyombo. Now, in this case, the best that we can say is that we now have two sides of the story. It will be unpatriotic to say, oh, this person is right, this person is wrong. We'll say that the Nigerian state should investigate what exactly happened. Did anybody pay ransom without the knowledge and approval of the president? If it is one of these psychopathic persons who did so on his own and abused public policy, it is also important to investigate and to find that out and to ensure that such persons who violate public policy are called to order.
Right. Well, for me, I'd like to ask about those unnamed sources in the AFP report. For me, that was the only,
that's why
I would like to know those sources. Because the AFP report was quite detailed, right? But we need,
journalist is not obliged to give you the source.
No.
Into the moment, that was federal government of Nigeria.
Okay, so I'm just saying my opinion. Can I?
Yes.
Is it okay to ask? All right. What I want to know really are who those sources are. Who those people that told the AFP that ransom was paid, because it was quite detailed about how the money was transferred and where the guy went to Cameroon to receive the funds in a helicopter and all that. But like I said, Nigerians are asking that question. If no ransom was paid, how were those victims released unharmed?
We are very hypocritical in this country. It's the height of delusion for you to think this government will be transparent, which you as regards payment of ransom. Dr. Martin, that's why I was laughing when you were quoting the law. How many laws do we respect no payment of? How many do we respect in this country? How many laws do we respect? Let me use your word back to you, Dr. Martin. We are not moralizing here. We are not moralizing. How many laws does this government respect? Audrey, the truth has been stated in that report. They should come out and debunk it, or they cannot. They cannot. The question I also want to ask them, let me even add to the reports by AFP. The question I want to ask them, who told the military troops to leave KB 30 minutes before the attack happened? They cannot answer those questions.
They ask that question every day. Yes,
AFP has come and shown them the lights. They will not be able to respond. If you are waiting for this government to tell me step by step how the government will release, I'm joking.
All right, okay. So we're still asking. If no ransom was paid, how were the victims released with no arrests? Well, let's take another story now, highlighting this now viral video showing the moment a foreign couple from England, Martha and Michelle, are stopped by the Nigerian police officer who threatens to arrest them. In the video, the officer stops the couple who say they are on a road trip from England and have just arrived in Nigeria from the Benin Republic. The officer proceeds to question them on whether they have documents for the car before. The conversation takes a dramatic turn as he goes on to ask about their marital status and even offers to buy them alcohol. Let's take a look.
I said, go out over for this right there.
The border yesterday in Nigeria.
When you are not from Germany?
Yesterday.
You are not from Germany?
No. We've driven from England.
From where? What country are you going?
Cameroon.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're just temporary. We only have 30 days. So the vehicle won't stay in Nigeria. We will drive to Cameroon. Alcohol? Alcohol. Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
But what about you? Yeah, I can buy for this. Yeah, what alcohol is that? We need that. Like enjoyment too much. Like enjoyment.
Enjoyment.
Like enjoyment. Please, how can you for this one?
Maybe after this trip, yeah.
How can you for you? This one is a very fun one. When you go to Greta. Yeah. Are you with me?
try my best. Let's have people for you. Yeah, I'm very happy to see you.
Okay, Dr. Abati. I mean, I'm laughing because he says I'm baby for this one. I don't know what a police officer is asking about marital status. I don't know if that's part of the code. I mean, I kind of know because my father was a policeman. Definitely not part of the questions that are supposed to be asked. But what is that? I'm asking me about marital status. I don't know what that means. But then alcohol. He said I can buy you alcohol. But what's all that about?
We have the new Inspector General of Police. Let me say that I think one of the first tasks that you should do is that these policemen on the road, they should be subjected to training and retraining. If they get a lot of retraining, it can help. At least this one, maybe this is one of the people who got eye treatment from Governor Sanwo-Olu. At least he could see the document, and he saw that the documents were authentic. So he didn't turn Nigeria into a nation. There was a story we took here about how Nigeria with the policemen has become a nation. Afghanistan. Okay, Afghanistan. That was the phrase that we used the other day. He didn't ask for money. And it was very humorous. He was a marriage counselor, he was a family planning expert, he was an education counselor asking about certificates and asking about everything. And at the end of the day, it turned out to be better than most policemen on the road.
Yeah.
He's better.
I was actually holding my breath for him to ask for money.
He didn't ask for money. He was friendly. In spite of his lack of professionalism, he even offered to buy alcohol.
That's right. He even
offered to buy alcohol.
Drink and drive. That's a shit.
That's his level of training. That's level of training.
Police officer.
If he had agreed, he would have brought the alcohol. But those people politely declined. At the end of the day, he even offered family planning advice. He said, this woman, girlfriend, I'm ready for this one. We're pregnant. This is it. I'm sure those stories, they must be amused. He doesn't even know the meaning of tourism. He says that those people who come to Nigeria to catch animals.
Listen, you watch the entire clip. I advise our viewers to watch it.
I found the video very It's better than other people.
Alright, that is it. Nigeria, now cruise. Shall take our good news report now, celebrating Dr. Fumilayo Olakbade and her daughter, Faye Olakbade Ayodele, co-founders of Cancer IQ, a Chicago-based health tech company recently named
That is the zoological republic for you. When you see them behave like animals, you think that they know what they are doing. They don't know what they are doing. These are a bunch of criminals who do not do good for themselves. They laugh over everything and they make joke of serious things. The same time, they will come and blame you as the one who is spoiling their country's name. But they are the ones destroying their country themselves.
Lasted approximately 1 hour and 48 minutes, making it the longest speech before a joint session of Congress in at least 60 years. Now, regarding foreign policy, towards the end of his speech, Trump did single out Iran as what he called the world's #1 sponsor of terrorism. Trump repeated previous claims that the United States obliterated Iran's nuclear program during strikes in June last year and stated that Tehran is developing missiles capable of striking the United States. Now, that was a claim for which he offered no evidence. And regarding the recent Supreme Court ruling striking down a large portion of his tariff regime, he called it unfortunate. Now, Trump said that he would press forward with tariffs under alternative statutes without consulting Congress. Well, for a little roundup of what he said, let's take a listen.
As president, I will make peace wherever I can, but I will never hesitate to confront threats to America wherever we must. That's why in a breakthrough operation last June, the United States military obliterated Iran's nuclear weapons program with an attack on Iranian soil known as Operation Midnight Hammer. For decades, it had been the policy of the United United States never to allow Iran to obtain a nuclear weapon. Many decades. Since they seized control of that proud nation 47 years ago, the regime and its murderous proxies have spread nothing but terrorism, death, and hate. They've killed and maimed thousands of American service members and hundreds of thousands and even millions of people with what's called roadside bombs. They were the kings of the roadside bomb. And we took out Soleimani. I did that during my first term. Had a huge impact. He was the father of the roadside bomb.
He certainly was heckled and did face challenges during his speech, but that was it by and large. Let's move on now to France, where the director of the Louvre Museum has stepped down, marking a significant leadership change at the world's most visited museum. Now, her name is Laurence Ducard, and she quit after punishing year for the former royal palace. Now, there's the high-profile jewels heist from the Apollo Gallery, a mid-February burst pipe near the Mona Lisa, there have been water leaks damaging priceless books, and a staff strike over overcrowding and understaffing. Now, the French Culture Ministry confirmed that an interim leadership team will oversee operations while a successor is appointed. Let us move now to the Caribbean, because Caribbean leaders are calling for calm and dialogue amid rising tensions over oil embargo sanctions on Cuba. Now, during the opening of the 4-day CARICOM summit in St. Kitts and Nevis, Jamaican Prime Minister and CARICOM Chair Andrew Holness called for constructive dialogue between Cuba and the United States aimed at de-escalation, reform and stability, as several regional governments have voiced concerns that tightened restrictions could deepen economic hardship on the island and disrupt energy cooperation across the Caribbean. Now, in a joint statement, leaders did urge all parties to prioritize diplomacy and regional stability over confrontation. Now, this appeal comes as Cuba continues to grapple with fuel shortages and economic strain, with neighboring states warning that further escalations could have wider regional consequences. So this is clearly an issue for all of the Caribbean. Now we move over to Europe. We're in the Netherlands. Now, the Netherlands has sworn in its youngest ever Prime Minister, who is also the country's first openly gay leader in what many are calling a landmark political moment. Rob Jetten is 38 years old. He is the new premier, and he pledged to focus on economic resilience, climate policy, and social cohesion, while emphasizing inclusive leadership. Now, the appointment marks a generational shift in Dutch politics and has been welcomed by equality advocates across Europe. Now, analysts say that the new government now faces immediate pressure to unite a fragmented parliament and deliver on campaign promises. So we'll see what happens there in the Netherlands. But it's time now to take a look at our newspaper headlines from across the globe. As ever, we begin with the front page of This Day here in Nigeria. Now, This Day does report that the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has resigned, citing pressing family considerations, with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu accepting his resignation and appointing AIG Olatunji Disu as acting IGP. Now, there have been reports that the move has created uncertainty within the police hierarchy, with concerns over possible retirements of senior officers and oppositions from at least one civil society group over Disu's appointment itself and expected short tenure. We'll see what happens there. But this day also reports that the federal government has denied paying a 2 billion naira ransom to secure the release from St. Mary's School over in Niger State. Now, they're describing the allegation as completely false and insisting the rescue was achieved through security operations. Now, opposition parties, including the PDP and the ADC, have demanded transparency and clarification, while US lawmakers also are raising concerns over Nigeria's security situation. They've called for stronger action against armed groups. And we're going to stay with the United States for a little bit. Now, moving on to the Daily Sun. The Daily Sun does again weigh in on the United States' involvement in Nigerian business. And so US Congress has submitted a report to President Donald Trump alleging widespread persecution of Christians here in Nigeria. They're describing the country as the world's deadliest place in the world for Christians. armed groups and protection for vulnerable communities. That's what they've been calling for. Now, The Guardian this morning also weighs in on this type of geopolitics with its lead story, and it reports that the United States has intensified diplomatic and
Now, tonight there's a chilling claim from Nigeria's opposition and a stark warning about the state of this country's democracy. The ADC says its leaders came under armed attack earlier today in Benin City, alleging that gunmen trailed party officials from a political event and opened fire on private residents, destroying vehicles in what they describe as survived assassination attempt. At the center of this claim are prominent political figures, including Peter Obi and John Odigye Oyegu, who were attending an event linked to the formal declaration of Olumide Abacha into the ADC. The reaction of the ADC has been stark. In a statement, it said that democracy is in danger. But as serious as these allegations are, they raise urgent and difficult questions. Was this a targeted political attack or something else entirely? Who were the perpetrators and where were the security agencies? And what does this say about the safety of political actors in Nigeria's increasingly volatile environment? Because if opposition leaders can be trailed and attacked in broad daylight, then the issue is no longer politics, it is national security. Well, to tell us exactly what happened, I'm joined now in the studio by the lawyer and member of the ADC's National Working Committee, Kenneth Okonkwo. Well, thank you very much indeed for coming in.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's my pleasure being here.
Yes, good to see you again.
Thank you. You also joining us.
This has been described by the ADC as an assassination attempt. Tell us more about what happened.
Well, let me first of all say that I was in touch with His Excellency John Odigye Oyegu, the former governor of Edo State, and he narrated to me what happened. So I wanted to have the first-hand information as a lawyer. We call it direct evidence. And so it's no longer allegedly it happened. This was an assassination attempt by people I can describe as either the governmental people or their agents. And why did I say so? Governor recall, that's the governor of Edo State. The governor of Edo State, the governor of Edo State, recall that he once warned P2B that he should not step into Edo State except to get clearance from him and that his security will not be guaranteed. I remember I was in your studio to warn that this is a threat to the life of the opposition leaders. Today, where they wanted to welcome Olumide Abacha, the former president of NPA, because this is an attack from NPA, that's the Nigerian Bar Association, into ADC. What they meant was about convoy of 10 vehicles with one pilot vehicle controlling them. They went first into the venue where the event took place, and they had left there because they heard that people were coming to attack them, and they ran into Oyegun's house. To confirm their seriousness, they chased them after shooting pins in that venue. They chased them into Oyegun's house and blasted on all the vehicles that were there. So this was an assassination attempt. Right? This is genocide against political opponents. You know, this government might be no, this government has started trying to do genocide against political parties. You must have heard when they say that it's like we are tilting towards one party state. And this was orchestrated by APC to ensure that there is no other party. That is what genocide means. Yeah, but so having failed to genocide all the political parties, because APC from the kingdom of grace just emerged, their only choice now is to wipe out the opposition leaders, and that is the next era they are going into. Right. Let me just make it clear, because you're a lawyer as well. And yes. You know that with these kinds of things, one has to be careful what you actually say. Absolutely. Unless you have
absolute evidence
in the
to
first
support the point that
instance.
you're making. But let me just say this.
Yes, the governor
But
is the chief security officer of the state, and the president is the chief security officer of Nigeria.
But the fact that Governor Bebo said that if you do not inform me when you come in, I cannot guarantee your security, doesn't mean that he's the one who carried out the attack.
Well, then why are you arresting El Rufai? Because he said on television, he said that we were listening to people.
I think that those
And
are
based on that, no, I'm trying to tell you that what is good for the goose is good for the gander. If you would not blame Ogbobele, having made the threat.
No, Ogbobele did not say that. No, hold on. Ogbobele did not say that if you come into my stage and you don't tell me, I'm going to attack.
He said,
that's not what he said.
I cannot command you to security.
Yeah, El Rufai said on this program that we have our ways of listening to the government, and we were listening to the government.
Yes,
we essentially, broadly speaking, tax the national security advisors. That's a completely different way.
There is an allegation in law because you're graduate. Even if you come to law court and plead guilty, you are still expected to prove the ingredients of it before the court can convict you. So that somebody came on TV and said, I did to an elephant died.
Well, let's get back to
let's
get back to the crux of the matter, because these are very important. Let me ask you this. So your sense is that this was targeted, and not just a security breach or isolated violence?
No, it's a premeditated attack, channeled towards intimidating the opponents.
Were there any casualties?
No.
Anybody hurt?
Amongst our leaders, we cannot say that they killed anybody.
Yeah, but unless I hurt,
that other people were injured. We are yet to know about casualty figures because it happened today. But one thing is very, very telling. 3 governors were in that field. 3 former governors. Because I'm talking directly to Monday Gobelo. Because one day you'll be an ex-governor, and may it be rewarded to you that in your state you will be targeted. John Oyebi, former governor of Edo State. Professor Sumbo, former governor of Edo State. Peter Obi, former governor of Anambra State. 3 governors. And the federal government with the state government could not provide enough security for their safety. Section 94 of the Electoral Act 2022 that has been repealed. And of course, the same provision has been provided for in the 1996. Say that the security agencies must make equal provision for security for both the opposition and the ruling party, and that they will never stop any event that the opposition is to handle. They must provide that even if there is a clash in the security agencies must sort it out so that they will all carry out their activities.
So did they have security of their own?
If they have
security with that?
You know, this government, in order to ensure the intimidation of the opponents, they withdrew purportedly the security.
You mean there was security and then the security was withdrawn?
Yes.
Or you're speculating?
No. Right. You know, that time the government said they are withdrawing policemen from everybody else. They withdrew the security of John Oyebi and all the other people. And that
but usually when you have an event, I mean, you have to inform the police and the police would send security.
That is what I'm telling you. If the security was there, they wouldn't be attacked.
Right.
So
there was no security.
Basically. And then, that's why I said it's genocide. It's
and what happened after the alleged attack?
Now,
did they go to the police and report the
incident?
incident?
They reported the incident. Oyebu told me that the commissioner of police was magnanimous enough to visit him. But what we do not know is what happens after that, because most of those things have happened. And it will die down and swept under the carpet. Let me tell you, this is a manifestation of failure of leadership. Leadership is the ability to influence people through inspiration, not manipulation or intimidation. This government hasn't failed in all indices of governance. They are now employing intimidation and manipulation. You can see what did not happen today. That's pure intimidation. Now, manipulation, you can see what is happening in the purported amendment of our laws to create room for them to rig election. That's manipulation. And you know the funny thing? They always exhibit the work of unintelligent people. You can see the amendment they did purportedly to the Electoral Act. You can see the proviso, and the proviso is as worthless as the paper that it is written on. You can see a proviso. You know what they say? They say if there is communication failure, if there is no network, the presiding officer cannot transmit, then he will use the manual to resolve the bullet. What else? You know why? The beavers functions like your phone. If you snap me now, my image falls automatically to your gallery. And when you upload, you can upload me and my image onto any person or to any platform without network. You don't need it. So network comes when you download, when you decode, unintelligent people.
Right. But let me just
Today,
come back.
there's nothing like proviso in the eyes of the law.
Right. Let me come to this
of
alleged attack in Benin, because I mean that's a very critical question. You said the police and other security agencies were not there at the time of this incident, and that you have formally filed a report.
Yes. Now, what I will not tell you now, to my knowledge, was whether there was any policeman that was there or not.
Right.
But what I will tell you was that whether there was policeman or not, it's either they were not enough or there were none. But I can't say authoritatively. What I know is that they were attacked in the venue that they held it, because they had to leave there when they saw that there was an advancement of politically motivated thugs to destroy their lives.
Yeah.
And then they ran to Oyegu's house and they chased them there. And because of the fortification of the gates, they were now trying to blast the gates to know whether they can enter. They destroyed all the cars. But fortunately for the people inside, they couldn't get entrance. Maybe all our leaders would have been dead by now.
But I'm wondering, because you keep making reference,
yes,
and obviously I can't dispute what you're saying, but I can neither support it either because I don't have the evidence. I know, but what I'm saying is, I mean, you keep making reference to the ruling party.
Yes,
and the government.
Yes.
And what I'm wondering is what it is about that your gathering in Benin City that was such a threat to them that they would send, because it's not like it happens every day, like all the gatherings of opposition people. Well, why would they send armed people to shoot at them? You see what I mean?
I understand perfectly what you mean.
What is it that posed such a threat to them that they would want to assassinate people there? I don't understand the logic.
Now, first and foremost, I have told people that if anything runs unopposed in 2027, it will fail. Because the Constitution.
But just because you said it doesn't mean it's going to happen.
No.
You said
that is a threat.
You're going to win in the FCT.
I didn't say that.
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm saying
I said that
of your party.
before now. I said that the candidature of the members of ADC in FCT was suspect, and that Nigerians should not judge us by FCT election. I said it before because with the bank
members of your party said other things.
With the bank
contrary to what you said.
I will own up what I say. With the bank-led NWC did not provide these candidates for FCT. So they were there before we came in. And I told Nigerians that FCT election should not be the basis to judge us. And you know what? You know what election meant? What it meant is that people say instead of voting for APC, they won't go to vote. 15%. 15%.
Well, that's how you interpret it.
But that is what it is.
Yeah, but the point is that, you see, I'm almost supposed to. So the next thing people are going to say, oh, well.
No, I'm trying to tell you the threats.
The reason, what I'm saying is the percentage of people who came out to vote in the FCT voted from official figures, voted in favor of the APC.
Now,
so they could have voted in favor of the APC, irrespective of how few their numbers were.
But I don't want to go into the details of the sham election. You and I knew or know that Wike obstructed people from coming out. He declared restriction of movement. That was to APC members. It cannot be to APC members because they've already had a meeting and told them that they will not be restricted. But he officially from 8 p.m.
How do they know who's going to vote for the APC?
No, they are government in power. They are government in power. So government in power have the minimum persons who are benefiting from them that will vote for them. We are not government in power. So any restriction of movement is going to affect our voters. Okay. But that's by the way. Why I'm telling you that Tinubu would lose if it becomes one of those, that is the reason why the opposition party because of the threat that they will lose 2027 election. All these hullabaloo about people defecting, governors defecting, and all those things. 2027 election is going to make people of Nigeria against.
Okay, let me just return.
So because they know they will lose, that's why their attention is to wipe out the opposition.
Well, let me just return to that incident in Minnesota, because again, in many respects, it is an isolated. So it's not a common incident that everywhere the opposition meeting, gunmen come and open fire.
No.
So the reason
is in Lagos State, the ADC leader in Lagos State, who was the Labour Party gubernatorial candidate, when he wanted to have a meeting, he was disrupted by thugs. They wounded and nearly killed people in Lagos State.
Okay,
right in front of the and Bondo Kobele, you may not have heard. He has accused APC that they are the ones sponsoring cults and that he is going to demolish their houses. So the pattern has emerged. Right?
Okay. Well, let me say this, because in the statement that we received from some members of the ANC groups of Israel, they said that democracy is in danger.
Absolutely.
Which obviously is a grave thing.
Yes.
Why should Nigerians see this as a system? What that means?
That's what it is.
Rather than political rhetoric amplified in a tense pre-election atmosphere,
now,
which you often get in Nigeria before election.
Good. I told you that it's a premeditated plan to destroy opposition leaders. Since their plan to destroy the opposition political parties has failed, and you were telling me that it's an isolated event in Kaduna State.
I'm asking you whether it's an isolated.
No, it is not. In Kaduna State, it happened. You saw how they blasted events where ADC wanted to have their meeting. Now, I'm giving you instances in all the 6 geopolitical zones.
Okay, but let me ask you this, because we're running out of time. I mean, you make the point, and you make your point fairly robustly there. This incident happened around what I might call a high-profile defection, because I mean, that I was defecting to the APC or formally joining.
Absolutely.
Could internal political rivalries or local tensions have played a role? I mean, without it necessarily being some officially sanctioned sort of APC affair.
What would the rivalry be for?
Well, I don't know.
That's why
I'm really asking you.
That's why we are not doing our primaries. We are not doing our elections. There's no rivalry. Somebody is joining a political party, and the whole different persuasions in ADC, we are all there. So you see it will be.
Now let's go to another story. Armed thugs attacked Obi Oyegu ADC members in Edo State. That's on page 29 of the Guardian newspaper. And we actually talked about, we touched on it this morning. And we had Zedra Kutubai on the program. He said he was the compare of that event, and he gave his own side to the story. Now, given a right of reply, we have joining us this morning Dr. Patrick Ahere and Bojele, who is the Chief Press Secretary to Governor Monday of Edo State. So, Dr. Patrick, good morning to you. Welcome to the conversation. Now, this is the headline. It's a good thing that we have you here, at least you can clearly hear. and let's give you a right of reply. Now, talk to us. This is the headline. So, Nigerians have their questions, but let's hear your take first.
Thank you very much for having a program. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Yes, we can. We can. Go right ahead.
Okay, thank you so much. Good morning for this opportunity to from our own side of the story. I think it's misleading and malicious in all content because the state government or is any organ of the state government has any responsibility to have contributed to what happened within the ADC as a party, which of course has already shown that it's a party that cannot be in accordance with itself. Already in crisis within party, leaders of the parties are attacking each other by verbally and even confrontationally. You know, we can recall quickly that on Monday, just while we as the state government was making donation of 54 earth-moving machines to assist local government administration, the NDC held a congress or a meeting which already turned into violence within the own precinct. You know, we saw reports from by a former chief whip of the Senate, the person of Dr. Roland Ngwe, who was accusing and bickering over the level of manner in which one of the leaders, the former governor of the state as well, Chief John Odike, shot them out of the meeting. It's in the public space. So what happened in APC as a party in Edo State is internal politics.
Okay, you call it internal politics. You got the person you mentioned earlier was at that meeting yesterday, but it was held at Odike Oyegun's house. And then the internal politics, does it involve those that were having disagreement? Does it involve taking them out? Both parties?
We were not part of it.
The information that we as the bank at that it was internal within the ADC.
Yes, that is the internal party. So what I said, they should settle the internal crisis within themselves, other than dragging the state government.
Is it not the responsibility of the government in a state to provide security?
Obviously, it is the responsibility of the government of the state to provide security. Now, you know, at the time past, the government made mention or see that it is imperative that when you have high personality visiting the state, you should at least let the necessary agencies of the state be aware that you are in the state or you have the business to do, so that security can be adequately provided. Mind you, even when you have protests, the police as an institution will tell you, give us notice that you intend to do street work so that we can adequately provide security for you. So it's a standard law. Now, this issue that they are running from the fact that whatever has happened or purportedly that has happened to them has to do with them as a party. Of course, the state government has the responsibility, and the governor and the government of Senator Modupe has been doing that seriously with a massive investment.
Now, let me this is newspaper review where we have analysts give their own thoughts. I don't know if you can hear me. So let's open up the conversation to everyone here. So let's just have this conversation. All right.
Okay, yes, it's good that Patrick has brought this angle to it. I've been refreshing our memory to what one of the governor of Edo State said. Some last year, hospital went to the next one, and he said, yes, and he said, well, you don't come to my state except I give you permission. You take permission from me to come. And Patrick just reiterated that the governor, that the president, that the governor said, well,
if you have a high-profile personality, coming into the state, it's important that you inform the governor so that he can provide security. And I would like for Patrick to tell us, Senator Adam Soshomole is high-profile. I wonder how often he takes shot, or he confronts, what's his name, I'm coming to Edo State so that you provide me security. I know that there might be godfather and godson relationship, but beyond Adam Soshomole, when or what on a personal or private basis, does he get that kind of security clearance from the governor? And is it appropriate for one to peculiar to Edo State? Why is it peculiar to Edo State? Why is it peculiar? Why did he have to single out Peter Obi? And there is this kind of coincidence, like our people say, a witch cried at night and a baby died in the morning, and people are to see some kind of connection between what he said and what happened yesterday. So how do you react to all of that? Oh, okay. Unfortunately, we have lost connection.
That means it's not ready to answer the question.
Let's go. You put the internet that's sitting out.
Please, I will try this in house.
Okay, Barrister, let's react to the story now.
Now, the thing is that whichever way you look at it, this is a pattern. And because the old police
that's what you're playing it on. If the attitude that proves the man at the other side of the bed was present there,
it can never be. They are not looking for an excuse. You and I know that. Look, I don't have patience when people want to play pranks with me. That is the problem I have. When someone wants to play prank, I don't have patience for it. You know what is obvious, and you are trying to divert my attention. For what? How can it be internal matter when you do the meeting? Some witchcraft will be detailed to come and scatter the meeting. It happened in Lagos, it happened in Kaduna, it's happened elsewhere. Don't check. So how can that be internal matter? The one that happened in Lagos when there was dive and people are having at Australia, was it internal matter?
We've reconnected. Yes. First of all, good to have you back. I don't know if you listened to my take on that. Why would it be only a Peter Obi that the governor would say, before you come to my state, I need to grant you permission before you do it? Because he's just a citizen. That's like if I'm coming into the state, I'm not high profile, but I'm a clear governor. And so why I'm in the state? I myself because I didn't get permission from him. How do we react to that?
But I think that would be a great misperception on the intent of the governor to say that why is he only Peter Obi? Peter Obi is not the only personality that has entered the state in time past. But the question should be asked, why always when he comes to the state that there are issues of violence or violence-related area? So, this we don't want to join so much in this conversation. But the point is that, yes, as chief security officer of the state, as a governor, the onus lies on him to provide security for everybody, and that we have been doing perfectly well or not perfectly.
Let me try to answer this question. It's only when Peter Obi comes to Edo State that there is violence in Edo State. We have cause-related activities in Edo State. It's been ongoing since February became the governor. And it's only when Peter Obi comes to Edo State that there is violence. I would like for you to help us tell us hold on. I would like for you to tell us which other state that Peter Obi went to and there were incidents of violence at the time that it was in that state.
I cannot speak to that, but for that of Edo State is what I am.
So then what is the problem
inside to? Because I don't, the same question we should all be asking. Why?
You can't answer the question. I'm asking you.
Talking about correlation. That is why I'm also asking. Why is it that each time it comes with the cheating crisis issue?
So the issue is why is it a big because based on that place, it doesn't make problem. What's the problem to go? Why is it
know that in the last 3 or 4 years, Edo State was, immersed in this crisis of cultivated area. But within a year of the inception of this administration, those issues are almost becoming thing of the past. You hardly can talk about tourism in Edo State. The governor has demonstrated serious commitment to ending unrest, to ending cultivated area. And so, I think that should be commended.
Yes. That's not correct. We have a reporter there in Edo State, and the report incidents of cultism every other day, even in the last.
No, I think that is also not correct, because if you visit the state, what you have there is a wrong narrative about happens in Edo State, and that is the misconception we are also trying to correct. That when the report about Peter Obi was shot as sporadically, where were the police? Did he inform the party or his visitor? Did they not make provision for security architect to protect them? So now the state is doing.
Understand that the DSS officials were then shot back and they were not giving police protection. But now the question I want to ask you is, have there been arrests made? Have you been able to identify the perpetrators of that crime? And have you been
I am not the commissioner of police in Edo State.
You're the chief press secretary.
I am the chief press secretary to the governor.
Yes.
Yes. And as a government, the responsibility of providing security for the welfare and safety of the citizens is paramount to that of the Spanish non-government administration. And the investigation into security matter, I think, is owned by the Nigerian police in conjunction with other security agencies. Of course, the state government is going to partner. As I speak with you, sorry?
No, I'm asking, are you privy to any information of anyone being arrested?
As I speak with you, no. But I know that investigation is ongoing. Whatever has happened to destroy the peace and security of the place, police are there, people are taking inventory, and I think in due time or in days to come, more insight will be, thrown into what has happened, and we'll get to see the perpetrators of this very act.
All right then. Well, can we? No, go ahead, Vice Balance. No, just react. You don't need to ask.
Yeah, what I want to say is this. When the problem was launching the so-called tractor, we said that he was reported to have said that even though I'm small, but I will do bulldozer to build the houses of all these ADC court members.
If you say ADC court members.
ADC.
Court members.
Court members.
He specifically mentioned ADC.
He said ADC.
Because I've not seen the video.
I said court members, ADC court. He was very specific. So my question is, how did he know that all the courts in the state are from ADC? They belong to ADC as a party.
Well,
then two, please let me ask this. But because he said it's an internal matter. From the venue where they held the events, when they heard that these people were coming, they had to quickly ramp up and then move to Udigo's house. They now went to that event. When they didn't see their target, they now dragged them to. Is that an internal matter? Because they should have been there at that event. So why did they drag them to somebody's house?
Perfect. So let me ask this question now. Have you been able to identify?
Just let me quickly respond. Please, if you can hear me, let me quickly respond to that comment. When you say so-called, that means we are even acting on assumption. So-called event. The event was real. 54 air-moving machine was donated to local government administration for effective governance. So when you say the soul, that means we are being populated here with due respect. Because the reality of ground, I think people should begin to understand that. emphatic about delivering these electoral policies. And for us to be talking about this ADC, where is that coming from? Who gave you that analysis? And if the party, the ADC, is saying that they got information from there, you need to analyze the information system. Okay, if you get information, who do you lodge it with? Is it with the state government?
Have you identified cult members who are members of the ABC? Cultists who are members of the ABC? Have you identified any of them?
Who are cult members of the ABC?
ADC, I say, not ABC.
No, who are the cult members? You find them in ABC. And when we begin to use this, because
I think this will be the problem voters will have. They're trying to say ADC or ABC.
Yes.
My question was, have you been able to identify the cult members within the African Democratic Congress, ADC?
We don't have cult members.
Okay, you don't have the ADC.
There's no written on the forehead. For example, even with my PhD, it's not written on my forehead. So when we go about, even in the media space, you say APC top member, PDP top member, ADC top member. Sometimes the media should be, well informed by enlightening the people, so that we don't become so gullible. The cultism, yes, is striving because previous government did not pay attention to it. But this administration has paid serious attention to it, that even unlawful gatherings, and the people are aware, because government has gone beyond policy making in this administration. This is full implementation, and the good people are happy about what the government is doing. All of these things, I can tell you for free, is distraction, and it's mischievous in nature by some of these elements to discredit this administration. And that's why in this letter, the government personally signed the press release, which I'm sure your correspondent will into, to say he is focused on delivering. He has made electoral promises to the Shine agenda, which Edo people are seeing and experiencing. Edo is a hospitable place, safe for investment. Of course, Edo State is not secluded from the Nigerian architectural security problem. But yes, we are tackling them head on. We are making progress.
All right.
We are yes, and the people are feeling it. All of these things, I think, is distraction, and the state government has nothing. The government has said it welcomes everybody to enjoy the peace of this place.
And it has a lot of work to do. I think it has a lot of work to do, because there's been a lot of conversation around those who may not see, those who disagree with the governor having issues, being beaten up. Remember the case of Pedro Obaseki? You know, there's a conflict between his stance, his position, and that of the governor. I was so happy.
Let my brother, please say, you see, people should be able to distinguish between government and politics and private needs. What is the relationship between Edo State government and Pedro Obaseki and those who claim and assaulted them? No. But you see, if you don't drag in Senator Mondo Pewole into this narrative, you are not going to train. For whatever reasons, I don't know. Yeah, that is the thing, that let us look at this things critically. I am a product of developmental studies, and you need to look at this food. We are so documented in this conversation when it comes to the actual thing. The way conversation should be, how far has this government fared? Within a year, 2 months. But I will say for like 8 months, because for back 4 months, they were litigation in the courts. But even at that, something was happening. I tell you now, my brother, the biggest or one of the biggest infrastructural developments taking place in Edo State, which is the first flyover that every Edo son and daughter has dreamt of, is happening there. Some persons will still tell you it is AI generated, because they just don't want to see the good thing that this man is doing. I don't know, but let us channel our energy. I would have been more relaxed. Yes, I would have been more
do to obviously open up its image, because people are saying, oh, that's not God, linking it to some of these issues happening in Edo State. But
part of welcoming people, does it include what you said about if you are not wearing a particular dress or you cannot
access the cabinet.
You cannot access
that is the cabinet issue. I don't think that
a na-eche obere ya gotu ekwuwala n'ọdụ isi biko tupu na-amanye na a sị na pesentị 30 na mba ụwa niile pesentị 30 bụ ihe kwesịrị dị n'aba na ihe ị na-enweta na-abata n'ihe gbasatara ụlọ, mana nke Lagos ị ga-akwụ ma nwere na ihe pesentị. Nsogbu a ga-ekpọtara na anyị na Maazị Peter Obi gbalarịrị ọnwụ erughị eru, ọnwụ mberede kreta kọmpọs ifuru gọọmenti aka ha dị, ọ bụrụ na ọ bụ ha, ọ bụrụ ndị ọrụ ha maka na ekwuru ekwute masa a sịla anyị mgbe na-abata ego emeka gị n'ikikere nwanne nchekwa gị akwadola m, mana tehansa ebe a ka ị ga-ahụ Monday Peru, ebe a ka ị ga-anụ ya a sị ya bụ onye isi ala Bola Ahmed Tinubu ECFR yasawu GSM ebe a ka ị ga-ahụ ya gbafe ihe ndị ọba ọjijiji kele tọkọkọ jikwa ya bụ na Igbo si na mba si na ọsọsọ ya ji bụ nwaanyị dị ime n'olu mgbe ọsọ soro ndị nwere kwụsị bụ nwaanyị dị ime asị mbe nna nwanne ekwuru ekwu ọvụtụ na-ere n'iju 07039039003 ụtụtụ ọma.
uche ọnụ na enwere ike ịtụfu ya bụ mmiri ọ bụrụ ịtụfu nwa na ihe eji saa arụ. O nwere ihe onye izi kpọrọ abụ kwuru, ọ sị n'uche nke ya ọ dị ka Maazị Peter Obi jiri nwayọọ hapụrụ ndarịka ha chịcha ọpụta. Ile anya ụnyaahụ na mwepụ mere na nke chifurigo, ụfọdụ ndị apụtala kwuosi na ọ bụ esemokwu dị n'etiti ADC na ADC. Nwere ndị agbachipụtara ụzọ, ndị awasị na ha ga-aba, ụfọdụ ndị wee sị ha na-atụ ụtụ, ha na-etinye ego na ADC sị ha na ha ga-aba ebubo mebe akara. Ebe anyị mere ihe a dị nso na isi ọchịchị steeti Edo. Nke abụọ bụ ụfọdụ ndị apụtara sị Maazị Peter Obi eziokwu adịghị agụgụ, anyị mana ị nwere ikikere na ị na-aga n'okporo ụzọ ebe ụmụafọ ala anyị nọ, ha ga na-akụrụ aka ọgwụgwọ ya ga-achọ imegide gị n'ihi na ha hụrụ gị n'anya. Mana ọ bụrụ na gọọmenti enyere gị nchekwa, biko chọrọ nchekwa ga-eso gị na-aga, n'ihi na onye nwere anwụ anwụọla. Chineke bụ na asị na ọ nwere ya mere Maazị Peter Obi sọsọ ya ga-eme bụ emeghị emenkarị emegatara asị na anwụchiri onye anwụchi onye tupu emere ya okpo ebele. Barịsta ọ dịghị ka na mkpere nke Maazị Peter Obi ji ndị nchekwa wee na-aga tụọ oke, ma ọ kachasị n'oge ugbu a onye a na-ekwesị n'oriko nri ga-eji ogologo ngaji.
Ọkpala okwu ka i kwuru ya, mana ịma ya na-eme mgbe ụfọ enwere otu ihe ga na-eji eme gị na-atụ elilo ịghọtago, mana a na-aghọta ihe ya. Eruru mgbe atọ Zeribe chọrọ eji ịdọrọ ọchịchị n'Imo steeti, ndị gọọmenti Imo steeti achọghị inye ịghọtago. Atọ Zeribe ga-akpọrọ ndị abụ obi 10 of them as ndị nchekwa ya. So ebere mgbe a na-atụ vootu atụta ya elu ya, atọ Zeribe akpọrọ ndị nchekwa ya banye ebe ahụ a na-agụgo si na ha lekwa anya n'ọnwụ na vootu a ha na-agụ ma ha gụghị ọfụma, ha niile ka ha na-ebe a na-enwe onye ga-eji ndị achị ebe apụtawo ebe dị akpụ. Ndị INEC mgbe abịa dịka ọ fere ekoso ha na-amarị gị eziokwu ka ya gbakwara ha na ihe kwuru gịnị ka a gụọ vootu a otu ọ dị ya chọghị ndị ọdatị ma ọ nwee ya ndị a ya bụ ebe a ma ọ gabaghị ike egwu egwu. Ọ bụ otu o jiri nweta sinetọ ọdị banye na dị. So mgbe ụfọ ihe gbasara ọchịchị ọ bụghị ihe a na-eji anya ọma achị. Ịdị n'eluigwe sef enwere mgbe Lucifer chọrọ ịnọ na Chineke ọchịchị ọwachi Chineke si gịnị Angel Gabriel, Angel Raphael, Angel Michael elebu n'ụlọ awa na-eme bụkwuru bịa chụpụ ma n'ọhịa ihe a weta dị titụ ekwensu ya wezie from Lucifer ya wezie Satan atụtuola anyị ebe a elebe anyị so ọrụ Chineke mere anyị so ya na-eme ya dana ịwụ ime ya ọchị ị ga-ejikere ọbụta ka m kwuo ya ị ga-ejikere were akọ na uche were asị ị ga-azụ azụwaịza azụ sapet ọgbanye baịbụl kwu so onye nọ n'ime ya dị ụtọ ebe gị ga na-atọ onye ọ sị gị pawa a na-enye ya alakat ọnya kwu anyị na-anya kebụl wakwuru fiire ndị Igbo na tohansọ ụlọ ga-agụ akwụkwọ abụọ na-akpọ 48 laws of power and then the print by Nicola Machiavelli. Ya akwụkwọ na-agwago otu statecraft ndị wepụtara democracy ebe ya ga-etinye checks and balances. A ga-enwe 3 arms of government, the executive, the legislature, ọ ga-enwe checks and balances because the greatest influence on the world of government. Abụrụ m asị info enweghị info nọ n'ụwa aka gọọmenti. Ọ ga-eme na a ga-achọ ka pawa na ọ na-akpọtu onye eweta legislative weta executive weta so that onye a ga na-eche ekwu onye agụọ ihe ka pawa ghara ịdị too much na-akpọtu onye onye ahụ ga-ewozi monster. Onye mere na Hitler ji ghọọ n'ụwa enwere ya. So ya awụ ihe ị ga-eme expect na ị na-atọ ndọrọndọrọ ọrụ ị ga-eji gịnị akpọpụche na-esu ya ha sheba ga-esheba ha sheba ga-esheba ọ dị overcome but onye chebesi ọchịchị n'ọhịa ị ga-aga ewuri ada asị gị ọ bụrụ na Naijiria anya otu ihe kwuru ugbu a ọ bụrụ na Naijiria anya a na-anwụgbana gọọmenti ọ ya wuru dị iche mana ị ga-eji akọlite na-eso ha
mana barista ya dị ihe mere na Benin steeti ebe n'ụbọchị ụnyaahụ ọ dịghị ka ọ bụ ihe ndị opposition party kwesịrị ikolite n'ụra maka na nke egosila ha na ebe 2027 na-akwụwala aga na-enwe ọgbakọ dị iche iche pati dị iche iche ga na-enwe naanị na ha mere obere ọgbakọ n'ụbọchị ụnyaahụ iji nnabata omume akpata site na Labour Party dịka o sonyere ha na ADC ndị na-arụchie ezigbo na ha rụchọrọ ha gawa na be Chijo Onyeko asị ihe agbara pọpọ gbara osikiri vidiyo ihe agbara ugwu nke bụ na ha sị na ha metara ya bụ họọlụ mgbe e nwere ndị chọrọ ịgbapụ ha ndị achịkọbibu nri ọsụsọ ihe mgbakọba ebe Chijo Onyeko achọrọ ịgba ha bịara ebe ahụ barịsa ebe gị ka nke a kwesịrị igosi ndị opozishọn na akpọ na n'akịrịka ahụ mgbe e nwekwara ike ịwakpo ha any time enwere ike na-enwere ọgbakọ n'ebe ọbụla ha chọrọ inwe ọgbakọ ha awakpuo ha barịsta ọ dịghị ka ndị nọ na pati ndị ọzọ na-abụghị APC kwesịrị ikolite n'ụra n'ihi na adịghị ihe abụọ otu ụzọ a chọrọ isi ha igwe ihe bụ ịgbakọlata ọnụ ịbịakọ ọnụ ime ihe abụọ na anya chọrọ ya
ndị APC nara PDP ọchịchị mgbe ha bịakọtara ọnụ ọma ka Buhari nweta mmeri ana-ekweghị na sebali so ugbu a ka ndị opozishọn ga-abịakọta ọnụ hapụga nganga nọ n'ime ya you stoop to conquer ịghọta ka ebuke na-agbọ mfe ekwuo ma nwaanyị ọ ga-eri ya ma ọ ga-eri ya onye anyị na-ekwurisi mgbe ọbụla ụnụ ga-abịakọta ọnụ tutu enweta mmeri so ọ dịzi ndị opozishọn na-agụkọ ihe ndị a ji na-ara nsha ndị APC ha eleela anya opozishọn anọghị n'otu enweghị ha anọghị n'otu ha nọrọ n'otu eziokwu m niile a na-ekwe otu a na-awapụ ha nọrọ n'otu maka na anya dịka na CPN imagine ọnwụ na ọ dị opozishọn soro gị anya ahụ ndị na-ebe aha ndị okwu na-eweta ndị kwuchiri ike anọdat ọ nwere otu ọ ga-adịbụ na bikọz ọ nwere ile anya gị ide ebe ga-esi n'ime ya pụta mana ha elelere anya sị ndị afọ ehihie na anọdat onye na-emekarị so ha na-aga n'igwe maka na asị girigiri ugwu eze ya anyị nwere opozishọn ebe a na-adị m hapụ ihe site na pepa anyị kwuru na TV seshọn mgbe opozishọn na ọrụ ugbu a ka ha ga-abịakọta ọnụ amaghị m kwuru na Mọnde na program anyị Evening Rush so opozishọn ga-abịakọtarịrị ọnụ otu ihe siri kwuru ugbu a ka ha ghara na-eme ya mkpara ka ha ghara iche na naanị ha mara ihe opozishọn bịakọta n'ọnụ ọ nweta ga-esi enweta mmeri a enwere na ole mkpu so amaghị m otu ole m ga-esi bịa na-enye wrong advice ka e were duo ofu onye a ga-emebi ya it's as simple as that.
Voice of the people 90.3 FM ofu onye a ga-emebi ya n'ihi na asị otu onye bụrụ iti igwe ọ sị na ukwu aba ya mana adị ụtọ gbaa ya agba agbapụta ya mana barista ụwa ka dị isi azụ anọ
ọ dịrị ha n'aka ga ntị maka na ihe mere echi gara aga ọ dị against the electoral law because section 94 of that electoral act na-ekwu na gịnị na-esopozu ebe ọbụla ndị pati na-eme ihe na a ga-enye ha mkwado na sekọndị dị ma ọ bụrụ ruling party ọ bụrụ opposition na a ga-enye ha mkwado mana enwego n'oche ndị wakpo ha enwe onye mere ala ese enwe onye egide enwe onye ajụrụ ajụjụ enwe ya iji gwadị na ya na ha kpachapụrụ anya ị gara ebe ha gara ime nzukọ ị gara ebe ahụ hụ na ha ebere ebere ebe ọsọ gbakọsịa mgbe ha nwere na ị na-abịa ha bụ ọsọ ịchụrụkwa ha n'ọnụ ụlọ onyeisi ha ebe ha batara ọ ga-agbakasị geeti agbakasịgo niile ụbọchị na enwere m ibu n'obi enwere m ibu n'obi ọga anyị kele Chukwu na enweghị ihe nara abịa dagide na-enweghị onye nwụrụ anyị kele Chukwu
otu onye ntakpe ndọrọndọrọ ọchịchị na-ege ya n'ụtụtụ ọ sị na ọ bụrụ na tata gafee ma gọọmenti steeti Edo ma ọ bụ onye isi anyị nyeghị iwu si nwụchie ndị mere ihe a si nwụchigo onye a nwụchie ọ bụrụ na ya na-eke oge egberu na ọkụkọ anya na ọ bụghị ya na-agba anyị na aka ndị adịghị ya kparịsịkwa nke
ọkwa because ọnwụ na-echi gara aga ka o mere ọ bụ ga-emepe ma Lagos ahụ ma ọ gaa steeti ebe ọbụla ndị opozishọn na-enwe mgbapụ adịgbo na tohanso ọ gba ka a ga-asị unknown talks agbara agba good news ebe ihe gbasara good news na election good news ọ mmadụ mere ha mobilize ọ mmadụ gwara ha gwa gaa mebie na ihe ebe ọ mmadụ gwara ha agara election ọ mmadụ gwara ha nye ha egbe nye ha moto nye ha ihe gatala ọ mmadụ ziri ozi ahụ agara asị good news mana ọ na-awụkarị mgbe opozishọn na-eme ihe mgbe APC na-eme anaghị ahụrụ a na-anụ good news a na-adị ebe ha a na-adị ịkarịmadị ebe ya na-arịrị
mana barịsta ọ bụrụ na ekwube ya bụ ihe n'ihi na ụfọdụ ndị na-ekwusị ọ dị nso ebe a na-agba ebe a dị nso n'ebe akụkọ na-efegharị ebe niile na otu nchọcha nke agency France Press AFP mere gosiri na tupu atọhapụ ụlọ akwụkwọ St. Mary's Secondary and Primary School dị na Kabiru steeti Niger na gọọmenti etiti kwuru nnukwute ego. Ya bụ akụkọ na-ebubo kwuru na isi otu onye 40 million naira na isi otu nwa akwụkwọ 40 million na-ejikwa ụgbọelu helikọpta buru ya bụ ego bụkwa nke nọ na bilibili bugara ndị Boko Haram na steeti Borno. Na ọ bụkwa n'otu onye kọmanda ha agbakwara aha ya bụ Mamadi bụ onye nabatara ya bụ ego. N'oge eji helikọpta bute ya bụ ego, Mamadi agụcha ya confirm ma ọsị ndị ozi onye ntọhapụzi n'ụlọ akwụkwọ atọhapụ ha. Mana bụ ise ha ga-echeta eji m ya mee ihe ọchị ebe a maka na mgbe ụfọdụ onye minista ahụ maka nchekwa n'ala anyị General Christopher Musa n'oge ihe ndị a na-afịọtụ n'oge ahụ a jụrụ ya kedu ka onye si depụta ụmụ akwụkwọ ndị a. Ọsọ anyị na ndị agha wedaghakwa n'ezi ha nwụchie n'oke ọhịa ndị Boko Haram ji ụmụ akwụkwọ a ozugbo ha na-anwụchi ndị Boko Haram ahụ ha ahapụ ụmụ akwụkwọ ndị a nye mbọmbọ ndị ikwoba na nke ọbọgọdị akụkọ ife ya kọwa na anyị na-anụ ghọtago akụkọ idu na ọba barista DSS bụka nke ha National Security Advisor n'ihi na ndị otu ọpụtakọ nke ha mmeri ha na-akọ bụ na enweghị mkpebi na gọọmenti Bola Ahmed Tinubu na-akwụ peni tọrọ afọ enweghị ihe ọbụla a na-akwe iji tọhapụ ụmụ akwụkwọ ndị a egotago barista mana ugbu a ikuku anyị ekume anya na-ahụla na fada setụlauza egotago barista kedu ka siri gbuo ebubo a barista ya bụ ego a si nwere mgbu 2 bilion akwụrụ ndị Boko Haram a sị na dịkwa naanị nke ahụ na anọda iwu ọzọ ndị Boko Haram na gọọmenti Naijiria bụ na ha ga-atọhapụ ha ndị kọmanda ha abụọ
ọnụ na-erubekwu gọọmenti Naijiria mechiri amụchi a sị na elekwara ha nke a marakwa ya bụ ego tupu atụhapụ ụlọ akwụkwọ ndị a kparịsịtara ka esiri ekwe ihe ndị a niile nakwa ego abụmoge atọrọ mmadụ n'ala anyị bụ Naijiria gọọmenti apụtara anyị na-enwego ụgwọ ọbụla ha bụrụ.
Biko adị Igbo ikwu ekwu mmadụ n'ọnụ mgbe ị nụrụ na ndị terọrist zụrụ dron zụọ ngwa agha ndị Naijiria amị na-enwebeghị kedu ebe ichere ebe siri bịa biko ọrụ ọrụ ego anyị ka ha ji na-azụ ngwa agha e ji ebusa agha agha ego anyị kedu ihe i chere ebe na ha ga-etọrọ ha na-atọrọ otu ha na-atọrọ atọ ha na-atọrọ atọ ọrụ from 100 to 200 ka ọ ga-awụ ego ga-ebu ibu ọnya na-ego eme mgbe ụlọ ha gara wapụ ụlọ etiti ọrụ ego datiza ha kalkuleti ala akpa agbakọtala ego gbakọ ya the person dara confirm ego ha wetara ọ na Cameroon ka ọ gara ebe ahụ ka o siri confirm ọ dị money ka ehunye ndị a na-eme Cameroon bụ na ọrụ ego kwụrọsịrị ndị Nigerian gọọmenti ma ihe na-eme ihe mere na ogene ala Igbo ọ dị na ọ na-adị nka ndị akara Naijiria gọọmenti ike ọgwụgwọ ọtọsụ ọ dị ka ọka ha akala ya ike adịwo ọnụ ha ji kwuo ọ ihe m na-ajụ mgbe IPOB na-eme ntụgharị igwe ebe a na-eme jọsụ ntụgharị na ha chere ikpụrụ ha ọgwụcha iwe egbe ebe amadị ha niile na-agbagbuchi ugbu a ndị ka ihe apụtara nwekwe onye na-ekwu okwu datị ha ekwu ha ekwechi agbadeela ha leta ebe ọzọ ha na-aga ịwago fenye ha 100 million ma ọ nwee nsogbu ga-adị so ọ ga n'ụlọ aha ọ otu Chineke na-eji amụrụ ụmụ ya ọrụ ugbu a na ewere na-akpọkwa IPOB ahụ ege ewere na-akpọta ha ahụ ege mana nke ka IPOB abịala nwekwe onye na-ekwu okwu onwe na-achụ ha gọọmenti etiti mgba na ejizi unu n'aka na ahụ na ihe mwakpo na nwejọ ọnụ ndị ga-ekwu okwu ha mere ubite na ọ kwụsịla ya na-eme ka ewere ego ọra ka eme ya ego gbabakwa agakwa ego ọzọ ga chịkọrọ onye na-eme ọbere ihe iwe napara ugwu onye ọbụla na-asụsụ ụmụ ha maka maka na asịrị m onye kọrọ otu asị na-eji helikọpta bụrụ ihe bụ ego shedubunye agbala anyị nsị na anyị ga-ekweta ihe ndị a na-ekwu na ọnwụ ya ugwu ọ ga-adị na Naijiria ụfọdụ ndị ga-ekwusị sọsọ na erufai kwuru n'ọnụ na ha tapụrụ atapụ nọ mpatụrụ ntente wee n'ihe ndị a na-eme ahụ ya esi ebe ahụ si achọ ọnwụchi bụ nwa nkịta abara ya ya dị afọ barista ndị APC ka ụfọdụ ndị na-ekwu n'ebubo onye amaghị ihe ndị a na-eme ịma na onye abịara abịa ọ bụrụ na ndị achọ ịrụchi ndị a niile na ọ dị mfe maka na anyị ga-echeta na mgbe gara aga nwere nwatakịrị na-akara x afụ ihu ya anya mana maka na e mere ha chụrụ ya barista ihu ahụ ihu ya anya tupu ya mere aka ya na nwoke ya barista ị na-achọsị mana ndị nke a bụ ndị na ha na-akpa n'ekwentị ndị na-aka ekwunyere maka na mgbe tụrụ ewepụ egwu ihe ọgbakọtara ihe a na-ekweta ndị nchekwa ala anyị nọbụ mgbe a kpụrụ egwu ndị boko na ndị a niile yiri akwa ndị agha bịa emechasị nacha n'aka ụlọ akwụkwọ ayawa ọtụtụrụ ha na-atodubelu na akpa nkata ha ma ebe ọ nọ ya ka ọ nọ na Naijiria ọkwa onye n'ike ewu so onye ga-alọtarụ enwere ihe nọ n'osi ya nwere akụrụngwa eji ya akụrụngwa abụọ onwere ebe e wepụtara iche ọ bụghị ka na ụfọdụ ndị na-ekwusi na oge gara mgbe ndị ụbọchịcha ugbu a ihe aka ya mezi bụ nke abụghị nke ekpuchibe ndị Naijiria na ụbọchịcha n'oge gara mgbe a ga-agbazi international community biko ya bụ ihe na-eme n'ala anyị bụ Naijiria ya bụ na ọbụla ihe ebe a nsogbu dị eche ebe a nsogbu dị eche ebe a nsogbu dị barista ọ na-ekwu oge ruo n'eziokwu ndị mba anụwa ga-abịanyere anyị aka ọnya na-akwado ọkwa ralịmụ a ewepụtago rịpọtụ so ka anyị lere n'ime Donald Trump ga-eme ma o lechaa ya akọnfamgo ihe na-eme over 100,000 Christians killed since 2009 the report now an entire state an entire local government wiped out late generation gara esi na ndị apụta ma ha na-multiply mana ka ha so eleghị na-akọ ọnya ọ ga-akọntinu ọ wee matter of time eziokwu Amerịka agaghị na ebe a ihe ndị emecha at the end of the day enweghị ha mere anyị ga-abịa zi nke ezigbo kwere bịa ka anyị nwee ya bụ na enweghị ha na-enyocha ịghọtago ha na-akwado ya wụzie na ha at the end of the day enweghị ihe ha kwuru nke ha na-ekwu ewepụga sharia ewepụga blasphemy ọwụ ikwu ya n'ọnụ unu mee ya ofe ọfụma ha chọrọ ikwu unu gwa anya onye ọbụla agawara nke ya ndị chọrọ ịnọ with violence ha nọrọ ebe ahụ anyụ alara onwe anyị ọ dị only solution maka ndị achọghị ihe ịnụ anụ enwere ihe ha na violence na-eme I'm not joking ha nọrọ ebe ahụ ka anyị gaa n'ihu for once ka anyị gaa n'ihu
barista n'ikpeazụ ahụrụ nnọọ ka ọmụemechi were ịhụrụ ọmụemechi were ikpe violence kpọọ ya
ọ bụ onye neged
ọ bụkwa onye neged Showere were ụgbọala gaa na First Headquarters Abuja n'ụbọchị nke ahụ ruo na geeti ndị polisi ndị uwe ojii n'ebe ahụ wee chọrọ ijikere new inspector general of police ndị uwe ojii si ya aha amakwa isi elekere nke mbụ ehihie n'oge ozi a ga-apụta ihe onye na-agba ajụjụ otu onye n'ime ndị nta akụkọ ebe ọ na-adịghị adịghị ọsọ anakọwa na IGP ọ gaghị emetụtụ ka akpọsị na ikwu IGP tighị ibi ka Showere si agabịa achịkwa ọzọ bịaganwu the new inspector general of police adịghị amụta ka Sahara reporters na Showere mana barista ka imebe anya ụfọdụ akụkọ na-ekwu na Bola Ahmed Tinubu chụrụ Kayode Ekpetoko ụfọdụ akụkọ na-ekwu na gọọmenti gbara ya ma arụkwadị mbụkwa nke o mere mana ihe ma bụ n'ikpeazụ masịrị ma arụkwadị ma chụrụ ya chụ Kayode Ekpetoko ọpụọma Bola Ahmed Tinubu ahọpụtala Tunji Disu onye bụbụrụ eji kampụ ya n'oge gara aga dịka ogarịgodo ọrụ ugbu a dịka onye inspektọ jeneral ndị uwe ojii ala anyị mana barista dịka ya bụrụ amadi ahọpụtara ya ugbu a enwere ụfọdụ ndị uwe ojii gala ezumike ka compulsory retirement ozugbo gwara ndị mgbe gị na ndị deputy inspector general of police DIG si dị asatọ n'ọnụ ọgụgụ mgbasa ya ndị assistant inspector general of police dị 21 AIGs na ha ga-ala ezumike nke ozugbo mana barista enwere ugwu ụfọdụ ụmụafọ Igbo na-ekwu ha sị na ọ bụrụ na ihe Frank Mba na ọkpa ya gbapụtala na ọ bụ ya bụ onye kwesịrị ime IGP mana kedu ihe mere ugbu a na-eweretere ihe gbasara ikpe oke agbụrụ were bata kedu ihe mere agbasoghị okporo ka ihe si aga na ọ bụkwanụ Frank Mba bụ onye kwesịrị ime inspector general ndị uwe ojii ọhụrụ kedu ihe mere a ga-eji were onye junior ya Tunji Disu were mee ya ụfọdụ okwu mgbe ụmụafọ ala anyị n'ọnụ ọrịsa kedu ka esiri ihe gbasara IGP
adị Igbo azụ onye ume ruru ya racha ọ bụ otu ọchịchị Naijiria dị oge nke ha ọ bụ oge nke ha enwere ihe ọdị na gị bụ n'ime ya a ga-agwa gị na onye a chọrọ ka nwanne ya ndị ọ ga-atọstụ ndị ga-akwado ya ka ha nọrọ ala n'ihi ọ bụ otu o si adị n'ọchịchị so ọ ihe njisi ndị anyị unu were kene nnọọ ndidi were n'ụwayọ ihe a ọ ga-eru anyị aka ma anyị tụọ ya ma anyị were amamihe so ya ọ ga-eru anyị aka nke aha bụ iwu mgbe ekwere ha ma ha ekpere ji ọrụ ọchịchị ga-eru ndị Igbo aka
This is from Biafran's Got Talent. We are letting Biafrans know the reason why we should remember those who gave their lives for us, those who died that we may live.
You died to end my suffering. You died fighting for my freedom. Your blood is the seed of redemption. You are my inspiration.
The deed no longer than military shots of them.
7 to 70, we remember them. 2016, 38 May, memories still deep in our mind till today. Wonder why they refuse to publicize the genocide. The world media turn blind eyes to our plight. It's time to arise, land of the rising sun. Let's rise one more time, let's rise.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. Those who gave their life for us. Onitsha massacre, Ifocha massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright.
Tell them I tortured me, oh. Remember when me tell you say I tortured me, oh. Yeah, I remember that one that called us a Bruce